la pena. Ella caureda, e pongo que a un caso, e a un caso re. Ya, ella caureda, e pongo que a un mare. Para coña matoto a mi la pena. Ella que cofuda, e pongo que tu cofuda. E a un la tungoka. Ya, ella caureda, e pongo que a un mare. E mali, ulululu e mali. Mali, con coquea ule mali. E mali. Ulululu e mali. Ululu e mali, con coquea ule mali. Uganda, oh yeah.
Praise the Lord. Praise King Jesus. Shalom, church. Today we are in Iteso. And what we have seen is just a traditional dance from Iteso land. Watch, listen, and understand what goes around in Iteso culture. I said we are in Iteso culture. We are going to speak something briefly about Iteso. The group you see in front here are all Iteso, both women and men. I'm going to speak the origin of Iteso. History says Iteso migrated from Ethiopia and they came via Kenya. And when they reached Moroto district, those ends of Karamoja, most of them got tired because of movement. Migration by then was on foot. So those who remained in Moroto district and other districts in Karamojong were called Ikaramojong, meaning the old woman is tired, cannot move forward. That is how the name Ikaramojong came about. And those ones who moved forward, those who had energy continued, and those are the ones we call Iteso. The name Iteso came from a word called Ates. Ates is a grave. So those ones who remained in Karamojong were saying, as the children are moving forward, we are not sure they might die and they will become the graves or dead bodies. Ates is a grave. So that is how the name Iteso came about. In brief, now today we are going to look at the way of their living. Iteso have continued moving from district to another. Here we are settled in other districts, and because of mixture of cultures, we have different ways of dressing. But I want to show you what happens in the family of Iteso. The family is headed by a man whom we call Ekilokit. We can look at one is here. The head of a family is Ekilokit. And the woman is called Aberu. Aberu, can you get up? We see you. So those are heads of a family in Iteso culture. Majorly, the man is an overseer of the whole family. But they have also responsibilities inside there. A man takes care of teaching boys how to behave and do homework. Then a woman takes responsibility of teaching girls housework. We are going to look at different activities that happen in Iteso. One of them, actually Iteso were cattle keepers. So we keep cattle, we also farm. Here before us, we are going to look at what we call emeleko, a hoe. Get up. So that is what we use for digging. We also use an ox plow, which I'm going to show you from. We shall use the other thing for showing the word. For us, we don't know in Iteso. Projecta, that one. For us in Iteso, we never had it in our culture. So when you look at the girls, they are all dressed in a certain grass. That grass is called emuria. Even when you look at our anthem, it is one of the grass mentioned, emuria koliai. Emuria kolia koliai, emuria kolia. Ojai puch kaina paki nejai Iteso. Oni dite siraya teke na bonut. That is our anthem as Iteso. So we worship God. We also have grass that we mention as emuria. That one signifies, and it is always shown when it's time for child naming. When the child is born, after 3 days to 4, a child is brought out. And that is how women are dressed, plus what we call ajon, a traditional drink in our language. Majorly here, Iteso are a group of people who listen so much, and they keep on changing according to the society. I'm going to raise some of the dressing code we have. Girls, two of you, get up. That is how we dress traditionally. But as I said, we moved. We moved from Ethiopia walking until we reached Karamoja. In Iteso, that's how we dressed. Another way is the way that one is dressed. Those ones, all those are dressing codes. Stand up. That is one way we were dressed, especially when you were in Karamojong. Those ones who remained in Karamojong, that is how they dress. That's our traditional dressing. But because of migration has continued, we are also putting on gomasi. That's why we see the mother there. Mothers are there, gomas, including me. That is of our traditional wear, because we have kept on copying. Now, I'm going to look at briefly girls. There's something that we cook always called emagira. We are going to demonstrate briefly. Bring that seat, take that seat. Briefly, we use amoru for grinding majorly. There is our moru. That is amoru that we use for grinding our traditional sauce called emagira. We see how she does it. We use what we call salt that the Bible talks about. And that is, we call it abalang. Abalang is got out of a certain tree. We just burn. We can see it here. Put it up. Put it up. That is our abalang. We put in a cup. Here. For you grind. So that is how we grind. We use abalang for cooking it. So our abalang, we get it from the pool. We use water to make it go down. Then the bad one we pour according to what the Bible says. That when the salt becomes saltless, we pour. This is the salt the Bible talks about. We call it abalang. So after getting that, the clean water goes down with something bitter that will cook the other sauce, which they are grinding called emagira. After that, girls do everything. They go to the garden. Girls can come back from the garden with the woman. We have seen here firewood. We have what we call eye kit for carrying our firewood when we are from the garden. Eye kit is that one. I don't know how they call it in English because it is not there. It's only in Iteso. So when the girl or mother is coming back from the garden, that's how they move. Can we move? Speed. We are people who do things very fast. A boy is here, they are from the garden. Plus the parents. This is how we come. So when the girl comes back, the boy goes to sit with the father, they rest. For us women, we continue working. We have there a maido. That is called granuts. We call it a maido. We don't grind it together with its top covers. We always remove the top covers as it's doing until it remains white. After it has remained white and clean, we put in a kisu. The other thing is called a kisu. Mortar. A mortar is called a kisu in our language. Then the girl will pound. She has finished to grind here. After that, they paste it. We are going to see the process outside. We can't demonstrate it here. So we are going to cook magira, the one we call a magira. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is discipline at home. Women, girls are taught by mothers, always in riddles. For example, we say, if a girl sits on a mortar, her breasts will go behind. Why are they saying so? We know that mortar brings for us food. If a child sits there, you will either gas or poo down now with that and the thing. So we use the trick, do not sit on it. Your breast will go behind. If you're a boy, you will never marry until you die. Now, because of fear of marriage, you cannot sit on it. And girls, because of fear of your breast going behind, you can't sit on it. That is one way we teach our children. Discipline at home, I say the man teaches boys majorly. On the fireplace, they have a lot of stories to tell them how to marry. That one I'm not going there because of time. But I want us to demonstrate something small. Somebody bring for us a table. How we respect our men. So we see a father here. Time for feeding now. Food is ready. For us, children don't sit on the chairs. If a visitor is here, we have a visitor can sit on top of the chair with the father. Children, sit down. This is our table. The mother is here serving. Now, when the parents are eating with a child who is grown up, not younger children, fathers sit on the chair and the table is there. Boy children sit down. They don't sit on the chair with the father. For respect purposes, the father is called Papa. Grown up mzee, we call it Epolon. Now, besides Papa, we have a visitor whom we call Epejonon in our local language. So, the woman is now serving. That is how we serve from our place. Bring water. Yeah. So, we wash your hands before we see food. When you wash your hands, you know that food is coming. That is what happens at homes. As I said, Iteso, one of the cultures in Africa with very brilliant people, with respect, and they are the only people who use what the Bible talks about, the ox plow. The woman is praying for food. Now, our people are ready to eat. Boys have to sit down. Men up. That is how it goes. And then the woman eats together with her daughters. If there is a visitor, yes. If it's not there, they share. Traditional, that is how we do it in Iteso. I said we use ox plow. We have heard in the Bible and read about Elisha being called by who, mommy? So, that one you heard, that he had 8 ox plows of 16. It happens in Iteso. We are going to show up if time allows. We couldn't carry it here, but it happens now in Iteso. So, because of time, we don't have. That is how what happens in Iteso. Majorly, we eat from out, unless it is at night. And looking for food, a man is head of the family. A woman, majorly lunch time, because we have a lot of greens. We have a bow, we have a bogoyo. So a woman must look for it in the garden. Is evening, it is a must. A man must bring for us something for changing the diet. That is what happens. We have meat, akiring, agaria, that is supper. But lunch time, we always eat local food. We have a bowl, as I've said, a magira, which we have just seen here, being demonstrated. That is what happens in Iteso. And that one, a man cannot look for it. It is majorly girls and their mother or aunties. So when you are from the garden, tired, women of Iteso don't get tired. They only go to rest at night. They work tirelessly. If there is any tribe that you can opt to marry in Africa, come to Iteso. They are best women. They can even do ox plow. They go to the garden to dig together with their men. They come. I want someone to show me this here, demonstrating. One of them digging. Please, come and help me. Just demonstrate something small. I'm showing what happens in Iteso, ox plow, the one we have heard about. So, that is what happens in Iteso. There is nothing too much, but I said Africa is full of everything. This grass you are seeing on top here is called emuria. We always use it for blessing our girl children when they are going for marriage. We say emuria koliai. It means you have taken a woman who is going to produce and multiply your family. And that's why I said in our anthem, we say, emuria kolia koliai, emuria koliai, o jaya ipuchkai na paki nejiteso, on Iteso, raya teke na bonor, on no kikila kaforo, emuria. This is the emuria they are talking about. We use it during child naming. When we are bringing our child out, we use adere, which I have not poured here. We put water, and then we use this grass to sprinkle water on a child and say, go and grow. It is a blessing. You use it for blessings.
Toto,
Yes.
as you're waiting for the other one, I have a question for Flo.
Yes, please.
You showed us 3 different categories of dressing code for Iteso.
Yes.
So the mothers dress differently from the girls.
Yeah.
Okay, the married dress differently from those who are not married.
As I said, when you're a girl, majorly we put on this get up for easily being seen. Then traditionally, we are here. That's how we dress up. Others We are here. This is all a mixture now. I said we have been migrating. We migrated from Ethiopia, moving, so we kept on changing to the level of reaching the Gomas. And we worshipped the gods, we call it Iteso. We had a god god of farming. When it's time for you to go and maybe plant something like maize, you have to call upon that god that can come and bless you. But the time went on and people transformed from worshipping Iteso to worshipping God Almighty. Edeke Papa is where we have ended today. And when you come to Iteso, most of the families are now transformed from cultural beliefs to worshipping a true God, Edeke Papa. Or we call it Lokasuban. That is how we call it. I don't know, are we ready? I said Iteso women or girls are all around. They can dig. They can also use ox plow like a man. Are we there? As I said, the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful culture to pick up a wife, to pick up a husband is in Iteso. Come. All around. If you take her to the village, she will dig for you. Comes back with greens called ebo, cook for you food. Uses those local things to pound, grind. Even at Tapa we grind, we don't take to the machines. We use our hands. Mango for you, bring food. Nothing is shopping here.
We can see it after service.
Okay, we can see it after service. Since because of time, I wanted you to look at a woman of Iteso in the garden with ox plow. Just that's what I wanted to show. I said all around. If you take her to the city, she will turn and become a city woman. She changes according to the situation. For them, for us, let me say not for them, for us, we go according to the situation. If you become broke, we shall go with you there in brokenness. If you become very rich, we want to go to big hotels there to eat. Because now, we don't have to remain permanent. I said you, they're also good listeners. They understand.
You have not told us about dowry. Should we come with it?
Dowry, now I'm coming there briefly. For us, we use cows for marriage. When a boy is ready to take a wife, he first identifies a girl. Then he tells his parents, I've seen somebody in such and such a family. And the parents will say, that family is good. I've seen a girl from Walter's family. That family is good. Go there. Now the boy will come with the friends, direct home. This is the language they use. We are looking for abalang. That one. Because they expect a woman to know how to cook magira. We are looking for abalang. So when they mention that word, they know that there's a girl here. So they leave that girl to get time to see those boys if they agree on their own, not by force. The parents of the boy organize themselves to come. They come officially. They don't first go for panya routes, like things are now spoiled. Traditionally, no going with a girl to check. You are supposed to carry her minus knowing how she is until you go to your home. Check from there. If it is bitter, endure it. Because enduring is part of our lives. If the man is not functioning, endure it until he gets up. That is the nature of it as well. We don't detest things before time because we are following the Bible. That is traditionally. I'm not talking about modern Iteso. I'm talking about traditional, the culture. So I think that is where we can end for today. We are going to see the ox plow. We are going to demonstrate how magera is cooked later. So Faith will follow us and get that video from us. Be blessed, and I welcome you to Iteso culture, a very beautiful culture. Dressing code alone, you don't see people's size early. You see them when you have reached in the house, in your honeymoon house. So there is nothing much we are going to do. We are going to demonstrate dancing. That is how we eat. This is all the group of Iteso. Thank you for listening. And I said, you're welcome. This is the culture which brought up the prophet of this house. That is how is a disciplined, cultured prophet, the only one who observes culture. Because we need a good foundation in order to be good men, good women. The man of God of this house grew up from this culture. And that is why you see him well cultured. He respects culture, respects his God. That is why he is blessed. Be blessed.
Celebrate Jesus.
Give us a song. We are going back and dancing our traditional dance, please. Cut off.
Sound room, what is happening?
Please.
Iteso, where are you? Where are you? We are here. Yes. Are you seeing my father's people? Are you seeing people? Hey. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.